Alright, so everyone's asking me how I paint and what my process is for heavy paint. And first of all, I want to say that this is a very new medium to me. Not digital, but working in this app. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, and there's probably better information out there, but this is how I'm doing it so far. So I'm going to start a new page, and this is the UI setup it is. It has all these letters up here which mean different things. The R is a rectangle, so I'm just going to get started and pick out my background color by doing that. You can change the hue up here, and then you can change the saturation here. So if I want a bright yellow, or if I want to just gray. And then you can change, I'm going to pick something like that. You can change the darkness here and the value. So there's the light to dark, the desaturated to saturated, and then the array of colors up here. And I'm going to do something a little warmer, so I'm going to go towards the orange. Doesn't have to be exactly right, but I'm just playing around here. Anyway, this is the line tool, which is, oops, you can't see, sorry. It's just like that. It's just a straight line. You can make it wider. So nice big fat brush strokes like that. And then by raising this thing, I can't tell you exactly what it does. Yeah, I don't know this part yet, but it does change the color. If you have it set all the way to the left, it's going to be the color that you chose. And the farther you go to the right, the crazier the colors seem to get. So, the M is a mixer tool. So this will mix this color with this color when I drag it over. And it can mix, you know, colors within each other. It's a pretty cool tool, and it's what I use for like softer edges. You can also change the brush size here. Do a really big one. If you hit the M twice, you can get a line gradient transparent. So it's a transparent gradient, which I just learned right now. That's kind of cool. The F is the fill tool. This I use a lot, and I'm going to scroll all the way to the left, which gets the color that I want. And the brush size is huge right now, but it doesn't really matter. Let's see here. Let's get us back to kind of a neutral color. So I just use this tool for almost everything. When I'm drawing a lemon, sorry, I want to get the background. When I'm drawing a lemon, I would just take the silhouette like this, do another silhouette like this. It takes a little bit of getting used to because you can't make complicated shapes. See how it gets kind of weird here? It won't cut in, so you have to get used to it, but it's not that bad. And then you can do a fill poly, which is basically like a vector kind of shape. And then you hit the F again to finish. So a lot of these are just hitting the letters a few times to get different settings. The D, I actually bought all the extra bells and whistles, which are different brushes. This is the draw. The line's huge, but you can go like this and change the width, change the colors up here with this weird tool. You can do a rake, which is kind of nice. Also changes depending on how far you have it over. I really like this tool. You know, you can show the direction of brush strokes or like wrinkles on a shirt. Brow tool, which I haven't really used. It's just kind of like this weird squiggly eyebrow, right? Pills. They just look like a bunch of pills thrown on the ground. Little sprinkles. Fiber. This has like a nice kind of furry effect. Let's just do the whole thing so we can see better. Airbrush noise, actually, airbrush noise is like that, which I use a lot also. You can change the brush size for that too. Fill gradient is one I use a lot, and it's just a gradient fill, like it says. But you have to be careful on where you do it, because there's a brighter spot where you start. So keep that in mind. Circles is how it sounds. It's just circles. Boxes. Just a series of boxes. Change the colors. Chalk. This one kind of looks like the furry fiber look a little bit. Break dots. This is where it gets kind of cool. Let's see, let's make the brush size big. Oops. So these arrow buttons are going back a move or forward. You can go back a bunch of times. I don't know if there's a limit. But rake dots is this, which is fun. Rake dots follow is really cool. Look at that. And then rake dots rotate. It's just like these little kind of star effect almost. So that's all those fancy tools. E took me forever to figure out, which is eyedropper. And I assumed it didn't even exist. So there we go. And the S is for save. You can save the HEAVYPAINT file here, export the image to PNG, and you can scroll through all your older work here. It does play through it, so you can kind of see my process. I just painted some lemons, and most of this is just with the fill tool. The lighting did kind of change over time. It's a lot of experimentation, but it's pretty fun. I'm enjoying it so far. And it's kind of neat to see it come together. I would mention to keep your screen brightness on auto, or because a lot of mine have been turning out a lot darker than I think because my screen's been really bright. So that's the painting I did just now. You can skip the replay and go straight to the final image. That's Coconut sleeping. This one is Kuda. And when you save the images, they all go into the Files folder. That's Kuda. So when I go out, I can go to the Files, and then you'll see them here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll make a new file and then just show you how I work really quick. but I'm not gonna do the whole finished deal. So let's do the background color first. I don't always do the background color first, but it is a good habit just because it's a lot easier. Sometimes I like to do a fill gradient with a little bit of a warmer color. Just get a nice warm look. Going back to the fill, upping my saturation. And then I'm just gonna do the silhouette. Oops. So like that. And then I have been color picking shadows on my own. And what's important is just getting them in there. You can mess around with getting the exact color later. See, I have to be a little bit tricky with this fill tool because it will cut out things that I don't want cut out. Raising the saturation. Oops, it's not the color I wanted. So it just takes a little bit of experimentation. It is pretty tricky at first to figure out, but I've only been doing this for a couple of days now, and I've gotten the hang of it. But like I said, I'm sure I'm doing some things wrong. Let's get one of these brighter colors in here. And I like putting more of these gradients, these fill gradients. Because there's a lot of different colors in the oranges, or the lemons. See how it came darker up here? I actually want it darker over here. So I'm moving things around. Get some of these rinds in. Yeah, so I can't curve like this if I want to like cut out a shape like that. So I have to go kind of like this. Like I said, there's probably a better way to do it. And when I'm painting the animals, I do get really loose with this fill tool, and I have to work fast, so I'll just kind of like throw it in there like it's paint. So I'll, you can work quickly like this. Get some of these colors that you're seeing in there. I want to separate, oops, it's a a little bit too much. I want to separate these colors a little bit. Probably not that much. But you get the idea. I see a bit of a blue shadow coming in here now. I don't want it quite that blue. But I see a lot of people doing really cool effects. Oh wait, I have it on the mixer gradient. So if I wanted to soften some of these edges, or make them hard again. Let's see here, let's get some of these shadows. I'm trying to pay close attention to the colors I'm seeing. Too dark. Get a little bit of highlights. See, it takes a lot of trial and error. So there you have it. That's my take on the lemon, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. It takes some practice for sure, but hopefully these tips can help you kind of get a little bit of a head start, because I took a lot of fumbling trying to figure things out. There you go. Hope you liked it.